Good morning and welcome back to another of our expert interviews. Today we are speaking with Matthias Goriupp, the Associate Director for the business line Customized Systems. Matthias, welcome. Good to have you here.
Hi, Sushant.
So you've brought something for us today. Can we have a look at it?
Yes. It's a keychain, which is already quite long time ago when I joined ZETA, where I received this one as a promotion part from our supplier. It is a rod that has exactly the diameter of a borescope for inspecting welding seams.
Wow, and how old is this? When did
almost 20 years. So it was in the first year at ZETA when I joined, and in the meanwhile, this was an invention to have just 3.6 millimeter diameter. And now it's common to have these small diameters, but at this time it was really unique.
Perhaps you should get another one made from today.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that, Matthias. I'd like to understand your background, and you mentioned you joined 20 years ago. Can you talk about how you entered the pharmaceutical business and ZETA?
Basically, I joined ZETA in the age of 19 years. Worked on construction sites as a project technician. I was, I think, 7 years only on construction sites, did pressure testing and all that stuff. Later, I did as-built documentation and also joined the project management. And I was leading then projects at ZETA, gained experience in international projects. I was in China, India.
Together we went, yeah.
We went in India, but also Russia. And I think 2015, I switched into the business line Customized Systems, where we do this kind of projects where we have customized solutions, plants, and here I'm supporting ZETA now for quite a long time.
So you've been in the pharmaceutical business for 20 years. A lot would have changed, and I want to understand from your perspective, what have you seen changed over the last 2 decades?
I think in pharma business, time to market is key. And what I experienced is that the duration for project execution significantly is reduced. So the pharma clients try to push the investment decision to the very absolute limit. So they just would like to go for an investment once they have results from the clinical studies. So once there is a positive result from clinical phase 3, they immediately would like to have the plant ready for production. And this is that, from my point of view, really changed during the last years, that engineering phase is more and more overlapping, that you have basic detail design overlapping, you purchase long lead items quite early. So a lot of time pressure that was created in the last years to be faster.
So within this overall business environment and business context, how have you seen projects specifically change, the way projects are done, given that there's a lot of international projects which we are now executing?
Yeah, I think the main change is the cross-functional teams that are now globally spread. This was not the case years ago, because when I remember my first project, we were in Czech Republic and we even struggled to have internet connections. So you had everything local on the construction site, this documentation. And now in the meanwhile, we are working on platforms that allow engineers to work from all over the world in the same document and the same construction plan. And this is definitely something has changed.
So when we're executing projects that are global, and you have people stationed in different sites, can you talk about some of the tools or systems or processes we use? How do you handle these projects? And also, how do you manage the communication and the people interface as well?
There's one important thing in such projects. It's completely not relevant what type of equipment you're supplying. If it is a fermenter system, a downstream, upstream, emulsion, clean media, all that stuff, even food systems where we have this new technology of clean meat. you always have to work with people. So projects are done by humans, and you need to ensure that they are talking the same language. I think that's key. So the most failures that happen is lacking communication, so you have delays because you do not understand each other. And therefore I think team building is one of the most important things at the beginning of a project. So if you have multidisciplinary teams from different locations, at least one time you need to bring them together in one location, to have a kickoff meeting, to have a start workshop, and to really get to know each other. That's the soft factors that need to be done. And of course, you have tools and methods in place. And here also we developed standard project structures, standard time schedules that even communicate with our ERP system to track the progress. And this gives the team the tools in hand and the methods to think on the important things and not to struggle with daily problems.
So what I hear you say is that there's one set of systems in place to get the job done efficiently and effectively. There is another kind of way we approach building trust among people, because without the essential trust, you would not be able to execute any kind of project.
Absolutely.
At all. So when I look at both of these together, what are the benefits or advantages from the customer's point of view?
So from my point of view, the customer has the advantage that we do a lot of different projects in different locations, in different types of plants. And so we can extract the best of it for each customer. So we can do a best practice approach and take what we learned from other projects. I think to bring this together and also to have an open discussion with the client, the customer, what would be the best solution that fits for him.
You would have had a lot of experience across different kinds of projects. Is there some example you can give us from a project you've been a part of?
There was recently a project completed in UK. So it was despite COVID, despite Brexit, despite really tough time constraints, we managed to really revamp a whole facility there. We tear down the wall, extracted the old equipment, pushed the new equipment in, and put it into operation. And the shutdown period was just 16 weeks to do the whole demolition of the building until we did the first technical batches again. So that was impressive. And this just works. If you have a good communication, you do the right things at the right time.
So it's not just designing a good piece of equipment like a bioreactor or fermenter. When you add in all of these variables, you increase the complexity manifold on projects. And then ZETA has to be involved throughout the process to ensure that the right equipment is delivered in the right framework at the right time.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Given your experience both in the pharmaceutical business and in projects, I wanted to touch on where you see the business going in the future. What is the direction you see the industry is moving towards?
It's a difficult question. So what I see is that, of course, this trends you experience in pharma, that you go for personalized medicine, gene and cell therapy, very small volumes that are produced. But what I see, the technologies change, also the type of equipment change, but the projects are always done by people. So you have to think about the communication, and you have to bring the team together to manage this complexity that is ahead of us in such projects. I think that's technology changes, people are people.
So what you're basically saying is that irrespective of the kind of drugs and therapies that are developed in future, the modality of delivering and executing the projects would be a constant and would be the
Absolutely.
same. Okay. Thank you very much, Matthias. We reached an end to our conversation. Would you be open to answering some personal questions as well?
Of course, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Matthias, pizza or burger?
Burger.
You are the main actor. What movie are we watching?
Die Hard.
Describe your management style in one word.
Straightforward.
You are traveling quite a lot. What do you miss abroad?
My children.
Are you a pool or a beach guy?
Pool, definitely.
You have the power to eliminate one thing from your workday. What is it?
Lunch. I always skip lunch.
Winter or ale?
Ale.
Your favorite off-duty activity is?
Riding my Harley.
The best way to run a meeting is?
Efficient.
Family-work balance. Any advice?
Set the right priorities.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time. We hope you enjoyed this interview. If you would like to see the next one, please check out on our website.